are in the QBO gym, and this is where we have numerous hands-on exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Each month covers a variety of new topics and scenarios, and to make it a little bit easier for you, we break it down into 4 different sections. So if you are looking to work on your bookkeeping skills, this is the place for you. And if you want to do an entire month's worth of these all on your own, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. So let's go ahead and get into today's exercise where it is being pulled from our November Year 1 warm-ups section. At the top here is an animated video to give you an understanding of what you, the bookkeeper, will be doing for your client Craig this month. Below that is an interactive pre-assessment quiz that relates to that video up above. Below that are the exercises in this section. And at the bottom here is an optional area where after you have gone through all of the exercises in this section and completed them, you will unlock some sample marketing posts that you can use on your LinkedIn to share with everyone what you have learned so far. So let's dive into today's exercise where we are going to practice using invoice links and receiving payments. Go ahead and click on that link to have the exercise come up for you. I have it here on the right side of my screen, so let's read through the scenario. Craig went to a home show and ran into a bunch of his clients. Shara Barnett, Jeff's Jalopies, Cookies by Kathy, and Bill's Windsurf Shop all had outstanding invoices, so he texted them a link from his mobile app and they made their payments right on the spot. So let's take a look at how this would work. You will need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. This is the dashboard and what it will look like once you sign in. Now, as an important note here, you will need to keep this session of the sample company open for the next exercises in this section. It is a total of 5 exercises. So be sure to allow yourself enough time to be able to do all of those exercises here in that same sample company session. But let's go ahead and get started with this exercise. In a real-life scenario, when customers pay via the link, QBO automatically records the payments and marks the invoices as paid. Because you are dealing with the sample company, however, you will manually record the payments. Before you do that, though, let's take a look at how to share an invoice link with a customer. This can also be done in the mobile app. Now, when you first enter the sample company, you will be on the home dashboard. That is what this is right here. This page provides an easy way to pull up all overdue invoices. So in that tasks tile right here, next to remind your customers about 10 unpaid invoices, go ahead and click on this Go. Now, once you do, you're going to see all of the overdue unpaid invoices. We're going to take a look at how to send the link by using Barnett Design as an example. So we're going to, on this line, the Shara Barnett Design line, we want to click on the down arrow in the action column and then click on Share Invoice Link. So this first line right here, click on that down arrow and then Share Invoice Link is the 5th one listed right there. Go ahead and click on that. Now from here, you would just copy this link right here and you would send it to a customer in a text or an email. We're not going to do that today since this is only for being shown for informational purposes. Now it's important to note that this link sends the customer to the already existing invoice. This is different from the QBO payment links feature, which is used to capture payment for a newly created sales receipt, which is just payment at the time of sale. So we're not going to do anything more here, but this is the process that you would go through in order to get a link to that invoice. Let's go ahead and click on the X to exit out of that box and then move on from there. Next, to simulate what happened when the invoice was paid, receive the payment from Barnett Designs. So on the right side of that line, once again, we're going to this time click on Receive Payment. Go ahead and do that. And once you do, you're going to get this transaction to show up for you. Now, notice that the customer field here is already filled in with Shara Barnett Designs as the customer, and the invoice here is already checked. This is because you are receiving payment from the invoice list itself. Now in the payment method field, we're going to select plus add new. And the reason is because we're going to create a new ACH payment method so that you can mimic how this will happen in real life. So let's go ahead and click into that payment method field right here. We're going to click on plus add new. And then in the name field, we want to type ACH. So go ahead and do that. And then you can go ahead and click on the green save button right here. Go ahead and do that. And once you do, you will see that now this is showing here as the payment method. Now, as a note here, this payment date is going to default to today. That's perfectly fine for the purpose of this exercise. But of course, in real life, make sure that this payment date is matching the date that the payment was actually made. So in the deposit to field, we're going to select checking. Note that you are selecting checking here because these payments will be automatically deposited into that account when paid through that payment link. So click on the down arrow, go ahead and select checking, and then we're going to go ahead and save and close. So click on the green save and close button on the bottom right corner. And now that payment has been received. Now let's move on to Jeff Stalapis. On the right side of his line, we're going to click on Receive Payment. So that is the third one listed here. Go ahead and do that. And once again, you notice that the customer name and the invoice have already been selected, and that is because we are receiving the payment, from the invoice list. Now in the payment method field, we're going to select ACH. So click the down arrow, select ACH, which is not showing up here on mine. Let me go ahead and try to refresh the page. Sometimes it just takes a moment for it to show up here. So let me try that again. Click the down arrow, and sure enough, there it is. So once you find ACH, go ahead and click on it. Double check that checking is that it has been selected here in that deposit to field. And then we're going to click on save and close. So click the green button. And now that payment has been received as well. And now we can move on to Cookies by Kathy. Now, for some reason, mine took me back to the dashboard here. If this happens to you, go ahead and click on the go to get back to that unpaid list. So here on that Cookies by Kathy line, we're going to click on Receive Payment. So go ahead and do that. In the Payment Method field, we're going to select ACH. Once again, click the down arrow, select ACH. Double check that checking is selected already in the Deposit To field. And everything is looking good. So now we can just go ahead and click on the green Save and Close button. So go ahead and do that. And now that payment has been received, payment transaction has been saved. And now we're going to receive payment from Bill's Windsurf Shop. So on the right side of his line, we're going to click on Receive Payment. That is the third one right here. Go ahead and do that. And then in the payment method field, once again, we're going to select ACH, click the down arrow, select ACH, double check that checking is already selected here in the deposit to field. And then we're just going to click on save and close. That's the green button on the bottom right corner. Go ahead and do that. And now that received payment transaction has been saved. And now that the invoices are marked paid, we're going to take a look at the estimates Craig sent out in the next exercise. But that is it. That is how you would send those invoice links and receive payments. Now, if you like this exercise and you'd like to do more like it, be sure to join our free 5-day bookkeeping challenge. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. We're going to continue on, and if you want to join, be sure to leave this session of the sample company open, as you will need it for the next exercise where we practice creating estimates. And I will see you in the next video.